Alright guys, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Rotors. This is one of our how-to videos, and what we are showing you today is a 1993 to 1995 Mazda RX7 N3A1 starter. What we're going to do is we're going to upgrade it with the 2kW RX8 manual starter. We're going to show you the whole disassembly of both starters, and we're going to reassemble the FD starter. What this does is this actually gets you higher torque and faster cranking RPMs during startup. This helps with hot starts. If you have a lower compression rotary and it just takes a little bit longer to start when it's hot and you don't like it, or if you have a fresh rebuilt, everything is new, clearances are tight, race engine, and you need it to turn over quicker, this is a great opportunity for you as well. This starter is also a must if you are going to a 20B in an RX7. Alright, here's the tools needed to do this project. A 3/8 ratchet, a 1/4 inch ratchet, an 8mm 3/8 socket, we have a 1/4 inch socket, and we have a number 3 Phillips bit. The reason for the 1/4 inch socket and the 1/4 inch ratchet is to put the bit inside the socket, and it helps getting these back bolts out that are actually a pain, and they're always tight and seized into the old N3A1 starter. Alright, let's begin. Taking the solenoid off. Now these are actually usually pretty hard and you gotta fight with them a little bit. Sometimes they'll come right out easy. With your 8mm socket and your 3/8 ratchet, you're going to take off the back two 8mm bolts that run all the way through the body of the starter. Now when you get this apart, obviously we're using an old bad N3A1 starter. When you get it apart, it's recommended that you clean this and get all the stuff out of here the best you can, because you're putting in new parts, new grease, and get it taken care of. Now here's your actual internals of the front part of the body. Here's your push fork, which the solenoid pushes, kicks it up like so, and then these 3 gears, this single shaft gear spins these 3, which turn this whole body to kick the starter up, and then spin the gear itself on the flywheel. Now you won't be needing any of these parts off the old N3A1 starter. So you can pretty much just kick everything off to the side. You just need this body. Okay, after we got the N3 nose, we cleaned out the inside and we added a little dab of grease right to where the front of the shaft meets the nose, because we ended up washing all of it out, even washing the grease out. So we re-greased it. Now we're going to break down the RX8 starter and show you reassembly. Okay, now on the RX8 starter, we can come in and just add a little bit of dab of grease right here on these gears to help lube it up. You don't want too much grease, so what you'll actually do is cause the starter to spin or turn slower if you have too much grease packed in it. A little bit of grease on the fork. Okay, after you kind of got it assembled, put a little dab of grease up here on the end of the shaft. What we're going to do is we're going to drop this section from the seal, the plastic, the shaft itself, and the gear, and the fork. We're going to put it into the nose cone of the N3A1 starter. Make sure all three gears are pressed down. And what you want to do is you want to line up where the body bolts go through into the bolts on the N3A1 nose. You got them lined up. Make sure you get this rubber seal to go down in there, as well as the shaft needs to line up on the end of the nose and be pressed in. You line it up, get your seal set, and we'll put the body on. So you put your rubber tab back on the starter itself. Drop the body, make sure it's in, check your body bolts. This may be a little tricky, you may not get it the first time. Let's get everything lined up and started. I have to go back and recheck. Got them started. You can lay it down, finish tightening. Try to tighten them together. Don't just tighten one all the way down and then go to the other side. Try to ease them both into place. And after that, your spring may have fell out. Put your spring back in. On the tab here, you can apply a little bit of grease for the fork. The cylinder grabs the fork. You're pretty much going to come in. Make sure the fork moves. Make sure it grabs the fork before putting it in. Line up your holes. Ready?
Yep.
Line up your holes and installing. Double check everything. There you have it. It's a 2 kW N3A1 FD starter. Alright, that concludes our FD RX8 2 kW starter mod. If you like this video, please subscribe and check out all our other videos. Here's a 20B FD with the RX8 starter mod.